Dear students, welcome to today's English class. We have already completed the lesson and completed activities, a few activities. Now let us move to the language activities that is given in page number 33. Most of you have completed your activities and sent to me personally, and I have corrected it and sent you back. There are still few remaining to send me the activities. Please send it in time. So these activities are very important, as I told you earlier, and especially language activities would definitely enhance your language, your word power, your grammar power, your way of using the language. Everything will improve if you follow it strictly and do it very personally. Definitely it is going to help you. Okay, students? So let us move to the language activities given in page number 33. And here you have an activity. So just to read the sentence given below from the story. Tarun always thought of himself as the black sheep of the family. So as when we learned the lesson, I had already told you what do you mean by a black sheep mean. Black sheep literally refers to color of a sheep. So black sheep literally, അക്ഷരാർത്ഥത്തിൽ പറയുകയാണെങ്കിൽ കറുത്ത ആട് എന്നാണ് അർത്ഥം. But when we use it figuratively, വളരെ ആലങ്കാരികമായിട്ട് ഉപയോഗിക്കുമ്പോൾ, it means the odd person in a group. Odd person, one who stands out. Okay. One who does not belong to a group. കൂട്ടത്തിൽ ചേരാത്തവൻ. Such a group of words with a meaning different from the meaning of the individual words is called an idiom. So idiom is a group of words which is not literally the same meaning of the words. തന്നിരിക്കുന്ന വാക്കുകളുടെ അതേ അർത്ഥമായിരിക്കില്ല, അതിനൊരു വേറെ ഒരു അർത്ഥം, അതിൽ ഒളിഞ്ഞു കിടക്കുന്ന വേറെ, അത് കൂടിച്ചേരുമ്പോൾ വേറെ ഒരു അർത്ഥം കിട്ടുന്ന വാക്കുകളാണ് ഇഡിയംസ് എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്. സോ ബ്ലാക്ക് ഷീപ്പ് ഇസ് ആൻ എക്സാമ്പിൾ ഓഫ് ദാറ്റ്. ഓക്കെ, നൗ let us read Ravi's diary entry given below and circle the idioms. That is what the question. You can just read it. When I reached the ground, it was raining cats and dogs. I felt blue as I was not sure if the match could be held. Viewers like me get a chance of watching a match only once in a blue moon. The ball was in the umpire's court. Finally, the match started and we enjoyed a wonderful game. Today is a red letter day in my life. So if you read once again, you can see there are many words which are used figuratively. Let us just circle them or circle them. Raining cats and dogs. Okay. Felt blue. Once in a blue moon. In the umpire's court. A red letter day. So these words are called idioms. Raining cats and dogs. It doesn't literally mean what it means individually. You know, raining cats and dogs means പൂച്ചയും പട്ടിയും മഴയായി പെയ്യുന്നു എന്നല്ല. It has got another meaning. So now you can match this idioms with the meanings given here. ഇവിടെ കൊടുത്തിരിക്കുന്ന ഈ അർത്ഥങ്ങൾ ഇവയുടെ അർത്ഥങ്ങളാണ്. അത് ഒരു ഡിക്ഷണറി ഉപയോഗിച്ച് നിങ്ങൾ കണ്ടുപിടിക്കും. Because you have to find it out. Okay. If I give you, it will be again spoon feeding. I do not want to do that. Okay. You have to find it out. And please find out the meaning and enjoy these idioms and use it in your language. Okay. And now one more work is there. This is an activity. With the help of a dictionary or anything, you can just find out the meaning of these idioms. Not only these, you can find more idioms and that will help you. So pros and cons, bed of roses, Herculean task, blue blood, crocodile tears, 11th hour, in black and white, red tape. Blue blood and all you have learned the previous year in the first lesson, no? The mysterious picture, you have learned this word. Okay, so please find out these words and learn the idioms. That is an activity for you. Now come to the second activity. You can just read the sentences given here. Life is full of ups and downs. A training school is very expensive. Children of your age are competing there. Tears were rolling down his cheeks. Now what you have to do, just identify and write down the subject and predicate of the sentences given above. I'm sure now you know what is a subject and a predicate. If you are not sure, please check the videos of my grammar class. There it will be very clear to you. Just log on to YouTube and just type STHS Puneer English grammar class. Okay, you'll get those classes. Okay, subject and predicate. Let's find out here. First one is given to you. Life is full of ups and downs. Life is a subject. Is full of ups and downs is a predicate. And maybe the second one, a training school is very expensive. So a training school, a group of words can be a subject. ഇത് അതിൻ്റെ സബ്ജക്റ്റാണ്. നമ്മൾ ട്രെയിനിങ് സ്കൂളിനെ കുറിച്ചാണ് പറയുന്നത്, അതുകൊണ്ടാണ് അത് സബ്ജക്റ്റ് ആയിരിക്കുന്നത്. ട്രെയിനിങ് സ്കൂളിനെ കുറിച്ച് എന്ത് പറയുന്നു അതാണ് എൻ്റെ പ്രെഡിക്കേറ്റ്. സോ ഈസ് വെരി എക്സ്പെൻസീവ്. ചിൽഡ്രൻ ഓഫ് യോർ ഏജ്, ഇത് മൊത്തം സബ്ജക്റ്റ്. ചിലരവർക്കും ഈ ചിൽഡ്രൻ മാത്രമേ സബ്ജക്റ്റ് ഉള്ളൂ. സോ ദാറ്റ്സ് നോട്ട് കറക്റ്റ്. ഓക്കെ, ചിൽഡ്രൻ ഓഫ് യോർ ഏജ് ഇതെല്ലാം കൂടിയാണ് സബ്ജക്റ്റ്. ഓക്കെ, ആർ കോമ്പീറ്റിംഗ് ദെയർ, ദാറ്റ് ഈസ് the predicate. Okay, tears, only one word. Were rolling down his cheeks, this is a predicate. Okay, subject and predicate, just to make you understand. I have given you the answers as well. Now you might have noticed a change in verbs according to singular and plural subjects of the sentences. That is what we are going to learn. If the subject is singular, the verb also will be singular in form. Okay, life is. Life is singular. Is also singular. A training school. How many schools are there? One. So again, we have got a is, no verb. Children of your age. Children of your age. How many children are there? More than one. So this is plural. So we didn't use here is, we use are here. Okay, so when the subject is singular, we have to use singular form of verb. When the subject is plural, you have to use plural form of verb. Tears, no, tears. So again plural. Where, so where is a verb there. So this is just to make you clear. When the subject is singular, you have to use singular form of verb, and when the subject is plural, please use plural form of verb. And many students make mistake in this matter. Okay, so you have an exercise here. Read the live description of the race and underline the singular verbs. Just read this, and whatever you find a singular verb, for example, on the track there is a shallow path. Okay, is, like that you can find out singular and plural forms of verbs. So singular you find out from here. Okay, this is an exercise for you. And in next, the paragraph about the reaction of the spectators, fill in the blanks with the suitable form of verbs. Editing passage, you get a 4 marks in your SSLC examination, board examination. So we should know the subject is singular or plural. This type of one question you can expect. Tarun's mother is applauding her son. So you should think Tarun's mother is a singular or plural. Okay, like that. The Ramnarayan and his trainees, the singular or plural. Please find it out and complete the work and send to me. Okay, I am giving you one more work. This is not to be done within one day. Okay, you have every subject to complete. So within 2 days you have to complete this and send to me. This is another one important language activity. You read this excerpt from the story The Race, and the questions please identify it. Okay, if you read carefully, suddenly he had a voice at his elbow. What is it, son? Question mark is there. Tarun turned to his left and there sat a man of about 60. I failed in 2 subjects, he replied in a depressed tone. The man smiled sympathetically and said, "Life is full of ups and downs, my boy. By the way, I am Ram Narayan, and you are one of the best runners I have ever seen." Ram Narayan, are you the same Ram Narayan who won the Olympic medal in 400-meter race in the 1960s? Tarun could not hide his excitement. Yes, part came the reply. So you have to just find out the two questions here. No, if you read, you can understand. First question is, what is it, son? And second question, are you the same Ram Narayan who won an Olympic medal in the 400 meters race in the 1960s? This is just to make you know there are two types of questions. If a question begins with an auxiliary verb, the answer will be either yes or no. Okay? If a question starts with a question word, the answer will be a piece of information. So if you start with an auxiliary verb, you know what is auxiliary verb? How many auxiliaries are there? Do you remember? You learned in your small classes auxiliary verbs. If not, please listen. Okay, auxiliary verbs. Okay, there are two types: primary auxiliaries and modal auxiliaries. Okay, which are the primary auxiliaries? The be verbs. Which are the be verbs? The kind of be verbal: is, are, was, were. Then the do verbs: do, does, did, and have, has, had. These are called the primary auxiliaries. And remember one thing, these primary auxiliaries can be main verbs as well. Okay, main verbal modal auxiliaries are helping. Auxiliary means, what is the meaning? Auxiliary, helping. Otherwise we call it a helping verbs. Okay, so these modal auxiliaries are will, would, shall, should, can, could, may, might, must, ought to, need, dare, used to. They never come as main verbs. They will be always supporting a verb, but these can be main verbs. Okay, that's the difference between primary auxiliaries and modal auxiliaries. Okay, now let us see some examples of questions formed with the auxiliary verbs. Can you help me? The answer will be always yes or no. Okay, indicating yes or no. Are you fine? Answer will be yes or no. May I come in? The answer will be yes or no. See, used with the auxiliaries. Okay, these questions are commonly called yes or no question. For to make it easier, we call it yes or no questions. Okay. Now, there are also questions that is formed with the interrogative words or question words. Which are the question words? What, who, when, where, why, which, whose, whom, and there with added with that whatever, whoever, whenever, wherever, whichsoever, whosoever, whomever, all that. Okay, and how. Okay, these are all called question words, and the answer of these questions will be always a piece of information. For example, what is this? If you ask, answer will never be yes or no. It will be, it is this. This is a pen. Something like that. Answer will be a piece of information. No. When did you come? Answer will be always, I came yesterday. Okay, that could be the answer. Okay. These questions are commonly called WH questions or interrogative word questions, WH questions. Okay, don't confuse when you say there are two types of questions. Okay, so here are some questions given here. We can just arrange it in a proper order. An example is given to you: intelligent, you and our boy. Are you an intelligent boy? Yes or no question. So with that, you can complete this as a work and learn how to prepare questions. There are two types of questions: auxiliary verbs, formed with auxiliary verbs, and formed with WH words. And there is a conversation. This is to make you familiar with the forming questions. Okay, just to see the answer and prepare the question. Okay, for example, Ajit took me to Ramakant Achrekar sir. So what could be the question? Okay. So must be, it's a piece of information. So who took you to Rebagant Acharekar sir? Okay. Okay, that way you have to form the questions and complete it properly and write it neatly on your notebook and learn formation of questions. That's very important when you come. Okay, so do these activities, come prepared for the next class. Till then, have a nice day. Thank you for watching.